2 and 1.
Our next guest is an illustrious MacArthur alum. He's now the head coach of one of the most storied programs, not only in Nassau County, but in New York State. That's the MacArthur General himself, Robert Paletta. How are you, Robert?
Hey, guys. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
We're so excited to have you. Look, when I think of MacArthur, I think of a lot of bad memories, being on the other side of the mat. I think we might have snuck a win in there. We could talk about that at UE. But, look.
Oh, yeah, you did.
We did. You guys let us win, right? Now, what I want to know is, and again, I said this before, I won't tell anyone. It's just the three of us. What is your secret? How are you guys so consistent, right? You provide a product every year. I would look at your lineup. They're down. We got them by 20. It doesn't work out that way. I want to know how you have such consistency year in and year out. What is the secret?
When I was in high school, Tom Boble was a senior when I was in 9th grade, and Tom Boble was the epitome of consistency. He's been there for a long time. He was there when Howie got there. He was actually there first, and then Howie came, and then I went to Island Trees, and then I came back, and it's still kind of the same thing going. I attribute it a lot to Tom Boble, man. Like I said, he brought this work ethic and this kind of way he does things, and he's been there since 88, 89. And he's, like I said, Greenblatt was the architect, but the consistency, I believe, came from Tom Boble. And I'm lucky to have him as an assistant coach. He was actually assistant coach of the year last year.
Yeah, I know Tom. He's like kind of an unsung hero, if you want to know the truth. Look, what I would ask you about is how, it's a little bit of folklore from kindergarten to 12th grade. How many kids do you have in your program, right? Total aggregate level. I don't want to, confuse anyone with my word aggregate, but how many kids total in the program?
We usually get about 75 to 65 at the high school.
That's amazing.
We get 75 to 85 in the middle school. You guys keep the math with me. I'm a Levittown guy. I'm not good at math.
I don't do math.
No, I mean, you're up at 150.
And then we got another 80 kids in the youth program.
I mean, so 230 kids. That's arguably one of the largest programs in Long Island. I mean, that's it right there. I mean, you guys have numbers. You have pride. I say this to a couple other teams. I said it to Rocky Point. I said it to Long Beach. You have that general. You have that M. It's a badge of honor. You guys won't give in. You don't get pinned that often, and it's a suit of armor.
Yeah, we're lucky to have some pieces in place with our youth program and Colin Kernick.
Yep.
Down there, and we have former wrestlers, always helping out and coaching down there. My middle school coach Brian Luball and Kurt Lassen, old Suffolk guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys set this middle school team. That's a feeder program for us, and then we just try not to wreck it.
You guys do a great job.
Mike, it's a good thing we have a white background, because with that camo shirt, I don't know if
it's very tough to see you. Yeah, I was gonna wear a MacArthur shirt. I didn't want to be
front. I gave you years back.
You did give me one. I don't want to be a front runner.
Mike is sometimes a front runner. Mike's also lost weight for the. I know that the camera adds 10 pounds. But Mike has lost weight in his life, so
he's gone Hollywood on it.
Yeah, you might. He went from an XL down to a medium at this point. So you're gonna have to get him some new gear. But talk to me a little bit about with all that quantity of and quality of family and student athlete you have in there. What if anything is being done on the female wrestling side within your program? Let's start with that.
This has come up a couple of times with my staff. We've had some females in our room over the years for a while now. Here and there, we have one now, Jamie Axelrod. She's a freshman, I believe. I believe that the female is probably the next frontier, the next wave of high school wrestling. I believe that they're gonna, be prominent in Nassau and Suffolk County sooner than later. We're trying to kind of get on that bandwagon as soon as possible. The logistics of it is a little strange right now, but I really do think my goal is to actually have a girls team, practice with us, and hopefully we can get some numbers up, because it is the future, and I think it's going to pull the boys along too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that we're probably all in agreement that if you had a mother who was supportive of wrestling and the combative arts, that it'd be more prone to maybe allow their kids to get into it, so on and so forth. So to kind of speak on that, the landscape for a young girl to be able to wrestle is a lot of times freestyle based. They go to the Olympic Games. There's some collegiate and folk style that goes on. Talk about what's going on right now on Long Island, New York State, what you guys are doing as a program with regard to Olympic style freestyle Greco-Roman wrestling in the off season, and the importance that you think that might have on the success for athletes on the mat.
We every off season we emphasize a lot of freestyle, a lot of Greco. We actually bring in some of these outside coaches to coach our kids that have a little bit of a background.
Starting to get the secret sauce here. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. No, guys. You guys know, guys.
Mike's always equating things back to food, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. For instance, at our camp, we'll have Tim Godoy, who's a great clinician, coach of Uniondale. He does great freestyle stuff. We have Artie Weidler does freestyle stuff.
Oh my God, Artie Weidler! Can we give that guy a shout out?
He owes me a shot at ping pong. He owes me a shot at ping pong. We're gonna get him on the show.
Artie Weidler is a legend. We were just talking. Yes. Coach Joe Usolini and I were talking the other day about Artie Weidler and just who he was as an athlete and as a person, and he is a hidden gem. That guy is fantastic in every way.
He's a great human being.
So we get these, off season, we get these guys to work our camps. They're great with kids. Our Levittown kids love those guys. And we emphasize all styles because freestyle helps you in your folk style. It's that simple. And if throw a little Greco, it all helps out.
Yeah, Coach, before we bring in your athlete, and I think Mike has one more question too. Look, you guys, people that know wrestling, you guys back, we'll call it back in the day, you've won the Eastern States. You won how many county titles? 5, 6? I don't know, multiple county titles.
How we won about 8 or 9.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I can't even count that high. You've been nationally ranked. You've had Division I. All-Americans. You've had a number of guys wrestle Division I. You've had, it's on and on and on and on. What is the next plateau or goal for MacArthur? Forget it. Obviously this season we want to get through it, but what's the next big milestone? I know you're always trying to get to the next level.
Yeah, our milestone, first of all, is to pump out some good kids that are going to be good people. That's always that's actually kind of the secret sauce, to be honest with you. Okay. That's where we start.
You want the best of high school wrestling? Long Island Wrestling Association's website brings you the best. Wrestling is one of the toughest blue-collar sports. The sport has tens of thousands of followers, and at the center of it all is the Long Island Wrestling Association, measuring the gravity of the sport. In 2002, National Hall of Fame wrestling inductee Steve Meehan created the #1 source for wrestling news in New York State. With contributors like Long Island Sports Hall of Fame inductee and historian Andy Slauson, the site is the most comprehensive wrestling website in the country for high school wrestling news. With in-depth analysis, entertaining facts, forums, and trending topics, this site has a treasure trove of historic high school wrestling information, with records dating back to the 1930s. There is no better source for high school wrestling coverage. Long Island Wrestling Association, keeping the wrestling world up to speed.
But we're trying to get some more kids to wrestle at the next level. Okay. We want to get a couple more kids in the D1. We have a couple of kids that are looking there at D2. We have a couple of guys going D2, D3 next couple of years, a couple of D1 guys. We want to get guys in the podium. At the NCAAs, that's kind of what we're trying to get to happen a little more consistently.
Well, if I can give you any piece of advice on the wrestling front, I would just say 2 words: head position. Just scream that at your athletes, and if they keep their elbows in and keep their head down, that's usually pretty good. The one question I want to try to grind from out of everybody is, for yourself personally, for what you provide to your athletes, your family, what's the best piece of advice, mantra that you take in and you spit out, or, that you were given?
That I was given personally?
Yeah, I mean, one way or the other. I mean, yeah, sure. The best advice that you were given, maybe the advice that you give.
Some of the best advice I was given is I went to Iowa a couple of times when I was younger, and I had great coaches. The Branch brothers were my coaches. Barry Davis was my coach. Howie Greenblatt was my coach. I've had some pretty good coaches in my lifetime. I was blessed that way. And one of the earliest things we were taught, especially in Iowa, is the road to success is a lonely one. No one's holding your hand when you go for these late night runs, when you're making your meals and meal prepping, and you're in the gym. Your friends are hanging out, partying. So that's one of the first lessons you learn, that the road to success is always a lonely one. That's one of the ones that were instilled in me, and one that I can kind of tell everyone that's what it's about. You got to tackle it on your own. That's number one. And number two, what we tell our kids is you can't be scared to wrestle singlet. Wrestling is actually an easy sport in that the kid that you're wrestling is your size, your weight is not much in an advantage. Right. It's not like football or lacrosse or any other sport that you play. When you wrestle, we're not playing, but if you can understand it, he's just a kid. It doesn't matter what he's ranked or
Coach, you can't see it right now, but you're giving me goosebumps with everything that you're saying. I'm getting completely enamored and fired up right now.
Yeah, we tell our kids, if you come off the mat proud of your effort, then you're a champion. That's pretty much what we say these days.
Coach, that's great advice. We're out of time. I want to bring your athlete in.
Bring him in.
I'm going to bring in. I'd like you to introduce your athlete. And Randazzo, and we'll go from there. We're excited.
Yeah, this is Mike Randazzo.
Let's bring him in. Billy O.C., bring him in. There he is.
Student athlete, Mike.
Student athlete. Mr. Randazzo, are you with us? Can you hear us? So Coach, if you can introduce him, that would be great.
He's a senior. He's Michael Randazzo. He's been with us for numerous years. He's a hardworking kid. He'll wrestle anybody. He's wrestled pretty much every good kid since he was in 9th grade. He's one of our go-to guys, and he's a general through and through.
Mr. Randazzo, welcome to the show. I know that you've had a lot of success in your career. I know you were all county earlier on in your career. Obviously, we have a short season. We're excited that we have a season. What is your immediate goal this year? Right, we've had a couple matches already. When you look back at this season, how are you gonna deem success from success criteria? What is your goal?
I would say that the main goal this year is just to have a fun, hoorah, work hard, but really set the team up for the future. Because I've been wrestling for 5 years now on MacArthur varsity, and I just really want to make sure that I set a good example, and that our team and who we are goes into the future and continues to be the way we are.
It's fantastic.
I have a little bit more of a longer view approach on my questioning is, I understand that you're a great athlete. You probably look like you'll be a neurosurgeon by the clean cut of you as you get older. If you close your eyes a little bit and you envision your life, sort of in college, are you wrestling, and then post college, do you have an idea of maybe where you want to go? Yeah.
So in my future, I've had a great experience with sports, wrestling, baseball, football, lacrosse. They've all taught me valuable lessons. But in my opinion, for me personally, I feel that college is a time to focus on the future, and it's not to put it this way, but it's time to step up and try and focus on what's most important. Not that sports aren't important, but to me, focusing on my career is number one.
It's an admirable answer. Yeah.
I would say.
And what's the career then? If you sound like a focused young guy, are you selling stock in who you are?
Well, actually, I'm definitely interested in finance for my career in the future, but at the same time, I love sports. So me personally, I would love to be a high school teacher and the coach, just like Coach Paletta and my other coaches, just like them. Which I would love.
Well, I would just say that wrestling is a great vehicle to get people from A to B, A to Z, and I wouldn't pass it so far along. I think that you want to look at your academics first, get into the best colleges that you can. But if they have the wrestling program, I think we'll be disappointed to find out that you didn't try to put your time in to creep some of your hours during the semester, during the year busy.
I'm definitely thinking that I'll definitely do a club sport. Like, I definitely want to play a sport, some type of club activity, but I just don't want it to like take over my academics in college.
Well, I can tell you, we're out of time, but Coach Paletta is second to none. I'm sure if there's an avenue, an opportunity, he'll lead you the way. If it's something you want to pursue, look us up. We'd love to help you. You're obviously a great kid with great goals. We appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to you for the rest of the year. Mr. Randazzo, Coach Paletta, go Generals. Thanks for having us on. I mean, thanks for, being on the show. And we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Have a good
thanks, Coach.
Great. We love it.